FSF PopCast live show. Well, look at that. I figured out how to do the thing when the thing didn't want to do the thing. Oh, right. Well, I know, right? Well, hey, kids, welcome. Yay, me. Pat myself on the back. All right, kids, welcome to the FSF PopCast live show. This, of course, is our happy hour. And tonight we've got some fun topics ahead of us. I don't know if Kathleen's drinking anything, but my portion of the show will be brought to you by Dragon's Milk. I just popped the top on this. 11% ABV. It's a joyous thing. So
Kathleen is actually being brought to you by water. I keep being
also
told
important. Hydrate, don't dehydrate.
Something.
So yeah, hydrate, don't dehydrate. But yeah, so we're excited to have you with us tonight, and we've got lots and lots and lots to talk about. So yeah, so here we are at our happy hour. We got 4 of us pictured, but there's 2 of us on camera tonight. John is out wrangling the miniature munchkin.
The sleep-deprived crazy pants.
Peace be with you, John. Yes, many prayers sent your direction. And Ben is taking the night off for family reasons. So,
many prayers also in Ben's direction and Mimi's as well.
Yes, for Ben and Mimi. Absolutely. Love you guys. And you're in our thoughts and prayers. So, but yeah, our show tonight, though, is brought to you. No, just John. John asked if he missed anything. No, you haven't really missed anything. We were just saying that our thoughts and prayers are with you in your living room as you wrangle the tiny barbarian. So,
don't let her turn the volume up. Tim said that those headphones will blast her eardrums out.
Yes, they will.
She's only got the one set.
So, yeah, those aren't replaceable. The headphones are, but not her. So, our show tonight is brought to you by Bones Coffee. By the way, if you haven't bought yourself some Bones Coffee yet, you really should.
That was what I had before the show.
Yeah, which one did you try?
The Salty Siren.
Yeah, good stuff, huh?
Delicious.
Yeah,
I have had now 3 cups of that today. Maybe only 2.
Yeah,
the first one was Cherry Republic. It's only 2 of that one today. Had one of it yesterday though. So.
I like the Army of Dark Chocolate. That's my favorite so far.
I was looking at their I think it was actually one of their Instagram ads today, and they were talking about a unicorn one that apparently tastes like Fruity Pebbles.
I'll have to look into that one. I'm not sure. John says he's something of an expert in the field of hearing loss due to loud music.
Yes, he is.
I believe that. Child of the 90s, that only makes sense.
Child of the 90s, and then the things that you found out about his dad's friends when John was growing up, which you guys can find out as well if you listen to our Get to Know Your Nerds episode that we posted on Christmas Day, right?
Yeah. There's a whole lot of things. I've actually had a couple of people come back to me and go, he made all that up, didn't you? I'm like, no. I know John well enough that that's not something he would joke about. So
I was talking to my mother-in-law about these things as well today. She confirmed all of the things that John had said in that episode. And then there was more.
Penis pool.
It's pond.
That's right. I'm sorry. It was a pond. Yes, it was definitely a pond.
But he also apparently, because I made the joke about and this is the one that you were like, oh, this is one of her ex-husband, her dead husband's more trustworthy friends. This is the one that I would have trusted John with and let him stay at his house. And I'm like,
You would have let him stay with the Nazi? Okay.
But apparently it was because he had firearms and a crossbow, and
there was more?
He was also president of the Devil's Disciples motorcycle gang. I mean...
Oh, there's lots to be told off camera, sounds like. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all ears. All right. We also want to thank... They used to be called TCTs. They just recently had a name change for 2025 moving forward because TCTs kind of was just this one thing, but they do a lot more, and they're branching out into a lot of other things. And the owner of TCTs is a really smart guy, and he wanted to have the name brand of his company recognize that. So now it's called Idea Farm, where they have 100% organic ideas, freshly picked since 2013. So as we find out more about their slogans and everything else, we'll add that here. And I need to change, because I found this out just minutes before the show aired, that they actually had gone through with the name change. It was hinted about, a little bit ago on Instagram, but it is for sure they are now Idea Farm. So I'll get that corrected on the show notes, but same discounts apply, all that kind of stuff.
I am excited to see what other things he's got in his back pocket and what else he's gonna pull out
and things. And and he's been working with some other avenues that were still t-shirt and design related, but they weren't like pop culture-y things like what we would do. So there's some cool stuff out there. We also want to say thank you to Eddie AI. They are the ones that help us with our shorts and TikToks and all that fun stuff. And then of course, Level Up Sabers, because everybody wants a lightsaber that's better than a stick.
And I found that it is the best form of marriage counseling. Why get in a fight when you can get in a literal lightsaber fight?
Exactly. And speaking of t-shirts and all that kind of fun stuff, we started a new merch page. So
we have merch.
We have merch. We're trying to put up some nice, fun designs, things that are callbacks to previous interviews and episodes that we have done. Some things that are related to our Star Wars RPG nights, things that are said on the show. We're trying to make notes of these, the fun things and put them on shirts and coffee cups and hats and mugs and stickers and phone cases. Oh my. But yeah, so those notes will also be added into the show notes because I forgot to do that.
But you guys now have the ability to buy a t-shirt with our Funko faces on it.
Our children need Guinness. I don't think that's the way. I don't think that's the way that's supposed to work. But 2 of my 3 children are of drinking age, so I'm actually okay with them needing or wanting Guinness. So, I mean, if we're being
as long as they share, right?
Well, at this point, yeah, that's the biggest thing. They have to share, or I get grumpy. So, but yeah.
You cry, whiny boy.
Where's the Tyson theme shirts? Where's my cut? Well, if we make a Tyson theme shirt, it'll definitely have something with raccoons, and we'll talk.
I was gonna say it's gotta have a raccoon on it.
Definitely gonna have to have a raccoon and a raccoon with an Indiana Jones hat. Literally making notes.
Ideas powered by Tyson.
Raccoon with Indy hat. Okay, that is actually officially in the notes now, Tyson. There we go. But yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, so, and as a reminder, so this Monday night we're doing a happy hour. Next Monday night we will be joined by the one, the only, the amazingly just wild and adorable and funny John Billingsley, who plays Dr. Phlox on Star Trek's Enterprise. So,
I think we need merch with Ernie's face on it too.
If Ernie has his way, we're probably going to get a picture of Ernie's butt here pretty quick.
Yeah, we're going to keep the brown star off the internet, please, sir.
Look at my fancy butthole.
Nobody wants to see your fancy butthole.
But yeah, we're going to have John Billingsley on next week, and we're going to talk about Trek Talks 4, which of course is a vitally important thing. And we are so excited because Trek Talks 4 supports the Hollywood Food Coalition, which helps people who are in need of food get what they need to help support themselves, their families, everything else. So we're very excited that that's going to happen next week. And of course, because he is Star Trek and we are talking about Trek Talks 4, he's also going to talk about Star Trek as well. So if you have questions for Mr. Billingsley, you can, of course, put those in the comments and we'll get them on screen for Mr. Billingsley to answer for you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's the first little bit of this. So one of the things that we said we were going to talk about tonight was if we would. I don't think we're going to put that one on. John says, FSF PopCast, home of the fancy buttholes and sometimes Tim. I don't think we're going to put that one on a shirt.
Sometimes it's cat buttholes. Sometimes it's us being buttholes.
Yes. It's a ubiquitous.
You never know what you're going to
get. Tyson says that could be arranged. I'll supply the picture.
Sweet.
A chubby raccoon with an Indy hat. I can't. There's no way this can go wrong.
Not the mouth of my water bottle. Gross.
But there's a lot going on in 2025, and of course, pop culture world. There's things that we want to talk about, and some of those things are movies. There's some TV shows that are coming up, but tonight we're going to focus more on some of the movies in 2025, things that are coming out, things that we're things that we're looking forward to. Don't body. Hey, I'm not body shaming anybody's raccoon. Tyson, if I'm also a little on the chubby side.
Can you write that quote down too, please? I'm not body shaming anybody's raccoon. Because just taken out of context is way funnier.
I'm not body shaming anybody's raccoon, Tyson. Okay, that's also in the notes. It's glandular. I'm not body shaming anyone's record. The things that get said when you don't think that they're funny, but they end up being funny. Okay, so
Squeezies.
but yeah, so there's a lot of different movies coming out in 2025. We have another topic we're going to hit as well. It has to do with Sam Jackson and the Avengers and all of that. But yeah, so which one do you want to hit first? You want to talk about the movies? Or you want to talk about Mr. Sammy Jackson?
Let's go with Mr. Sammy Jackson. Although I feel like if I called him that near him, he would hurt me.
He'd at least have a 4-letter word for you.
Probably.
That's a whole nother discussion with Sammy Jackson of which movie, and there it is. There's the butthole. So,
thankfully, his pants are floofy enough you can't really see it.
Yes. All right.
He does have the floofy pants.
The topic is what movie or TV show would you want Samuel L. Jackson to show up at and recruit somebody from that show to be in the Avengers? So I have one pick, but I have two people out of the show that I want in, that I would want him to take it for very, very, very different reasons.
So yours sounds way more entertaining than mine is. But okay. I was looking at this today with I've been binge watching Buffy. So why not? Okay. And I'm like, that'd be really funny if Samuel L. Jackson just showed up in an episode of Buffy as Nick Fury with all right, I want you, but not to Buffy because she's got a job already. But if he went to Xander and decided he needed to take the butt monkey and have him join the Avengers.
The butt monkey joins the Avengers.
There's an episode where Xander really actually does say that he is not going to be anybody's butt monkey anymore. Yeah. Poor Xander is always stuck in the worst positions in that show, and the worst things happen to him. And I'm like, I think it'd be funny if Sam Jackson was just like, no, we're gonna. Oh gosh.
Tyson says the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Come on, Sam Jackson, make it happen.
But yeah, I could see Nick Fury being like, all right, we have jobs for you. And that would pretty much just be he'd be the poor butt monkey and the citizen in distress.
But would that be a superhero name? Would he then become Butt Monkey?
Maybe.
Super Butt Monkey?
Super Butt Monkey. Well, I was thinking, I don't remember which movie it is, if it's the first Avengers movie, where Thor and Loki do the let's play somebody get help.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like they would just take Xander and be like,
I don't want to get help.
Xander is now gets Loki's spot of the get help.
It never works out for me. I don't want to get help.
Between that and Nick Fury showing up in Brooklyn Nine-Nine and taking Jake Peralta.
I could actually see that one, yeah.
Right? I feel like that one could actually work.
Okay. John says, I want to see Fury recruit the crew from Muppet Treasure Island to staff a helicarrier. So it's Samuel L.
Ooh.
Jackson and the entire Muppet cast. One F-bomb only for a PG-13 rating.
Yikes.
And nobody even realized that Gonzo knew that word. Oh, that's interesting. So he wouldn't even let Sam say it. That's even better. Yeah. Actually, I think it'd be funnier personally if Biggie said it, but because that just seems like it'd be right up her alley. And it'd be like after somebody hit her, she'd be like, "Mother," and then just.
It's the only time you see Kermit blush.
What color does a frog blush?
I don't know.
What happens when you mix green and red?
Brown?
I don't know. Is that when you get brown? Is that how you get brown?
I mean, it's one of the ways you get brown.
That seems like something we should check.
You can also get brown from drinking too much coffee, but that's a different story.
That's a different type of brown. And according to, you would get a brown color according to Google. I did the Googles.
Ooh, look at you. You with your sweet Google fingers tonight.
Tyson says if it's brown, flush it down.
You know, it's solid advice.
It
solid.
is.
Wow, I'm tired. Holy cow.
Sometimes solid.
Oh, yeah. When it's not, that's worse.
Especially if you've had too much coffee and a bran muffin or 3. So, anyway.
That is a good way to make sure that you don't take any of last year's crap into this year.
Flush it out and done. I too have been binge watching something, and I watched the last episode of it tonight. I have to watch the movie that followed up because Fox TV back in 2002 was really, really stupid and canceled this show after 14 episodes. So, yeah, we've been watching Firefly, and finished that off today. I'm still waiting on the referral for my colonoscopy. I don't want to know how this fits into the conversation. Maybe that's a bad choice of words when we're talking about a colonoscopy and fits in. But
if it's the same GI that did my upper scope, he was really nice.
The video was great on Facebook as well. So
yeah, right. Although I did propofol is very much my friend.
Oh, that stuff is amazing. You will give exactly 0 craps. And yes, pun intended, because you will knock out and nothing else. You will never sleep as good as you do on that stuff.
No.
Like, can I get some of this to go home? Is there
at the same time, then I still feel tired. But like, it was funny as John made the joke even in the recovery room of if Kathleen ever gets addicted to a medication, it's not going to be a painkiller. It's going to be propofol because it is the fastest nap.
It's like that. It's lights out.
And it was funny, so it was an upper GI. And so they were like, well, we have to get you in the right position for the upper GI before we push the propofol, because otherwise we're not going to be able to move you. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So they had me like roll over onto my left side, and they had to put the bite guard thing in while I was still awake.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is awkward and weird. And they're like, all right, and pushing medication. And the next thing I knew, I was in the recovery room. And I'm like, oh, that's why they did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I had my last scope, it was the same thing. They're like, okay, we're going to push the medication now. And I was like, okay, so, and I was, because I am always very shy and I never talk to anybody. But then I woke up in the recovery room and I'm like, we did not finish that conversation.
Right.
They're like, no, you fell asleep mid-sentence. So...
Well, it was funny too. Is like I remember them saying that they were pushing lidocaine into the IV first, and that might burn a little bit. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I've had IV lidocaine before. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it at least makes the medication that comes after it not burn.
Right.
But yeah, no, and then I was done for. I
get it. I do. All right. So anyway. I've been watching. Yeah. Back to our regularly scheduled non-medical programming. I've been watching Firefly. So there's 2 people from Firefly that I would like to see Fury draft. One, of course, would have to be River, because if you watch the movie Serenity, you understand just how BA she is. She is basically a superhero. and she would have to just assume the name of Serenity. She would be a perfect fit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one, just because I love him and nothing he says ever makes sense, and he's crude and he's rude and he'll be in his bunk. I love Jane. He's honestly, as much as I love Mal on that show, and of course Alan Tudyk, and as Wash. I think the person that makes me laugh the hardest on that show is Jane. Absolutely,
I love Jane.
Even in episode 14, my wife and I were sitting out here watching the last one right before the show, and there's the fight with the bounty hunter on the ship, and he hears all the clanging and banging around. He reaches up and he grabs his blanket, and it reveals all the guns on his wall, like he's gonna go do something, and he just takes the blanket and rolls over. Like,
Right.
Yes, a man named Jane. Jane is a girl's name. Plus, she can kill you with her brain. She can, actually. She's
so
no
fun
power
fact.
To stop her.
Fun little story time again that does not involve propofol this time.
Okay.
The night that John proposed, we had gone to a dress as your favorite TV show character. That's exactly it. Dress as your favorite TV show character. And because of my hair, I went as River Song from Doctor Who. John dressed as Malcolm Reynolds. And John's best friend Isaac, who then was the best man at our wedding, was Jane. Because he has the knitted Jane hat. So we were this cross-dimensional River and Mal, and then John proposed that night, and it was really cute and hilarious. And the fact that Isaac's like, oh yeah, I'll go as Jane, and he just has the hat.
Something tells me he planned for that, so he knew.
Oh yeah.
And yes, Tyson, exactly. Those are quotes from the show for the uninitiated. If you have not watched Firefly, it's only 14 episodes. Go watch it. You can cry with us later when the season's over and there's no more.
When you watch Serenity, and then you'll cry more.
Yeah. Because that.
I don't want to watch the movie again.
It's one of those that I haven't bought for whatever reason yet. And I was talking with Shayna before the show, and she's like, "So when are we going to watch the movie?" I'm like, well, right now it's not streaming on any sites. So if you want to watch it, you can watch it on like Amazon Prime. You can rent it for like $3-4, which isn't bad for a digital rental. Or you can buy it for $10. I'm like, I'm just going to buy it because I needs it.
It's a really good movie, but it makes me cry every time.
I am a leaf on the wind. Still too soon. But yeah, that was one of them, and I really thought that Jane and he would just call himself Jane, so he wouldn't need to do anything else. So, John says the number of times Isaac and I have just pulled random weird things out of a drawer, closet, or box that nobody thought existed yet, and I can explain it, but not about the napalm. There are so many reasons why Homeland Security should have visited you.
Burned a hole in the driveway. Like, into the concrete.
That's impressive.
Something about missing styrofoam and gasoline.
Was he an adult or a kid?
Yeah, he was an adult. Or both? It was, that would have been... How much alcohol
was involved?
I don't know that answer. But let's see. Isaac's parents lived at that house. They moved not long before John and I got together. So that would have been 2010, 2009-ish that he and Isaac would have done that.
Okay. Hey, Brandon. Welcome to the show, buddy. Good to see you again, man. So that was the one that I was thinking of. And primarily, if you guys have any suggestions of where you think it'd be fun to see Samuel L. Jackson show up and recruit a character or two for the Avengers, let me know in the comments. We'd love to hear what you guys think about that as well.
What if he just showed up in How I Met Your Mother to recruit Barney just to mess with Barney?
Right?
If it was actually all a joke from Ted. That'd be brilliant.
That would be fun.
An entire storyline of Barney thinking he's going to be an Avenger.
I thought it was a Mr. Miyagi thing. Brandon says, good to see us too, and that he's just chilling and watching Batman Beyond. Good choice, sir. Good choice.
I watched Batman Forever the other day.
You know, speaking of this comment and Batman Beyond, I still, there's rumors still floating around out there that they're going to do something with Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton as Old Man Bruce. You know, getting ready to turn it over to Terry McGinnis. And goodness gracious, golly, I hope so. I would be all about that. Batman Beyond was a lot of fun to watch. So, but yeah. So the other part of our conversation was talking about movies that were coming out this year, things that that we're kind of have on our radar, things that we're looking forward to. We're going to get to this one in just a couple minutes there, old Johnny Wasp boy, Mr. Captain Napalm.
You know, okay.
God damn.
All right, you called him Johnny Wasp, and it makes me laugh because people will do that. His middle initial is actually E. You can accurately call him John E. Wasp.
Okay. Captain Napalm is now on my notepad. All right. All right. So, yeah, let's get into some of these. So the first one I have brought up is Captain America Brave New World, because that comes out in actually just a little over a month on, actually, I think it's on, is it on Valentine's Day that it's released?
It might be.
I mean, because who doesn't want to take their favorite significant other to see the Red Hulk on date night? It is red after all. I mean, it only totally fits. We would actually love to get Will on the show, Will Friedle.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I've actually tried a couple times. We've been unsuccessful thus far. We haven't been able to make schedules work, but that's a good reminder, Brandon, to reach back out to him, because not only because of Batman Beyond, but of course, Boy Meets World,
Critical Role, and Girl Meets World, and
lots of cool things.
Hey.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a great reminder, Brandon. Thank you. I'm hearing Captain Napalm scream like Captain Caveman. Anyone else?
Yes.
I am now. Not totally am now. Yeah, I'm pumped for it. I'm very excited for this. I like Sam as Captain America, and I love the fact that we've got Harrison Ford joining the MCU. We're going to get the Red Hulk, all kinds of fun things. The mayor of St. Upidtown, yes.
Oh yes, it's on the border of Canada and France, or New York and France. Sorry,
same one. Yes, one and the same. I'm watching Sonic 3 tomorrow with my brother. It's his birthday. Oh, that's cool. Excellent. I know people are fans of those movies quite a bit. But yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to that one. One that I've actually written an article about for Couch Soup, because if you're not reading at couchsoup.com, you totally should be. Wonderful website. And by we, I mean me. I'm one of their content writers. And also you'll find articles there from Mr. Tyson Hadfield as well. Tyson's over there because, Couch Soup is the bomb diggity. So just want to throw that out there. I said bomb diggity. Anyway, the other movie that I wrote about is, of course, the new Superman movie, James Gunn's version. We've talked about this on air a little bit because of the trailer and seeing Crypto, the super dog, and I'm very, very excited about this. I have gotten
Henry Cavill, but I'm still excited.
Yeah, I've gotten over my, hey, we got Henry Cavill from Wish.com, or we have Henry Cavill at home. Look for the new Superman, but I do like that they're doing some things with this. I like the fact that it looks like they're bringing back nerdy, dorky Clark.
That's true.
That's a big deal to me. Having grown up with the Christopher Reeve version, having a nerdy, dorky Clark that's kind of my jam when it comes to Superman. How have you guys been so far with the new year? Feels like it's still 2024. I'm not gonna lie. Nothing's changed. It's the same old, but so far so good.
20 part
So,
5. So
yeah, 2020 part 5. Exactly. Uh, this one I'm just like stupid excited about. There's a lot of different moving parts here. I love the fact that you've got some good guys, you got some bad guys, you're shoving them all together, and we're gonna see what happens. Um, you know, there's the Red Guardian, you've got Bucky, you've got US Agent, you've got the Taskmaster, the chick from who blinks in and out. Can't remember her name, but she was in one of the Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's going to be involved in it. Of course, Eulania. There's a lot of really cool, fun things happening on the screen here. And what I've seen in trailers so far, very, very excited. Yes, Ghost. Thank you. Thank you, Tyson. Ghost. I'm completely spaced on her name and just could not get that to snap in. But yeah, Ghost is her name. Well, yeah, there's a lot of fun things happening in the Thunderbolts. And I'm honestly most curious to see how Bucky and the Red Guardian are going to interact, because Red Guardian was supposed to be like the Soviet super soldier, the Soviets Captain America.
right.
Bucky was, the Winter Soldier. You know, what's the asterisk for? Honestly, I have no idea what the asterisk is for. I haven't looked that up. I have not done my research on that yet, just because we've only seen very short teaser trailers, a little bit of information here and there, and it's not coming out for a while. I don't think till May or June, I want to say. So I know I had some time to look it up.
May 2nd.
May 2nd, yeah. So I got a few months before I have to worry about what the asterisk on the end of Thunderbolts means. I have not watched Sonic 3 yet. I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen Sonic 1 or 2 yet. So, nothing against the Sonic franchise. Yeah, just, I don't know. Just haven't seen them.
So the Google quick search about the asterisk theory. I can't even talk.
Easy for you to say.
Whew, obviously not. The theories among fans are the Dark Avengers, New Avengers, Secret Avengers, or the Task Force X placeholder.
Okay.
So they think that it hints at hidden meaning teased by Marvel Studio President Kevin Feige, and the cast and crew have been careful not to give away what the title implies.
Yeah, so Tyson's correct. Yeah, they haven't said what the asterisk is, but they have teased that it's significant, and that goes with what Kathleen was just saying there. So,
I wonder if the Dark Avengers one would be fun, though.
I would think so. John says he just watched the first Sonic film last month. It was a lot of fun. Brandon
Which is quite funny coming from a person who does not enjoy Jim Carrey. So,
and I want to watch Sonic 3 because my girl Kristen Ritter is in it. Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much anything with Kristen I'll watch. She's an amazing actress. And I'm still hoping and crossing fingers that we're going to get her back as Jessica Jones. I don't know that it's ever going to happen, but I loved her in that role, and I thought she was amazing.
So fantastic as Jessica Jones.
Perfect casting for Jessica Jones, honestly. Have we heard about Toy Story 5? I've seen some storyboard information and Disney talking about it at D23 a little bit, but past that, I haven't seen much. But yeah, it looks like the toys are going to be going up against modern toys, such as tablets and iPads and all that kind of fun stuff.
Nothing beyond Toy Story 2 exists.
Oh, that's sacrilege. It's sacrilege.
No.
Or as Graham McTavish once told me, heresy.
I
get that on a shirt on our
I loved the original Toy Story. Toy Story 2 was fun when they introduced the rest of Woody's Roundup. But then after that, I couldn't do it anymore. There's too
Okay.
much. There's too much emotional abuse, and the Honor I watched. I don't remember if it was 3 or if it's 4. Where the toys are like in an incinerator, and I'm like, this is weird. We're gonna be done here.
It ends well. So
It
as
does.
you can see, I mentioned the quote from Graham McTavish in our interview of him. I mentioned that I drink Irish whiskey. He, of course, is Scottish, and so that was heresy. But that's on our shirt and merch.
Can
site.
we scroll and give people a little more of a teaser on that or not? That'll
Of
the
course,
teaser.
yeah. No, we can bring that back up. Hold on a second.
Because I saw one. I saw one of my favorites up there too. Math.
That one. So the story behind the math shirt is that is directed towards our co-host Ben, because he plays a B2 battle droid in our Star Wars RPG, and he was having a hard night with the math, and so we made a Scurvy. His name is Scurvy B2 battle droid with a pirate hat, and it says math.
You forgot his pants.
I did forget his pants. He should have some big. Doesn't he have like yellow hammer pants on or something like that?
Because he stole them from the Gungan.
That's right. When the Gungan went away, he took the pants. But we've got like ADHD and D, roll for concentration, expendable. Don't worry, I have a plan. There's
the one with their faces on it.
Our Funko face. Stop staring at my crits. Yes, they're natural. And of course, my favorite one over here, Neil's build trats. So there's going to be more. There's going to be more designs coming, so you guys can check that out. Let's see. Hey, Janice, howdy. She says, hey, my favorite people in the entire world. Tyson said, rumor has it that JJ was going to be in Daredevil Born Again, but there's a scheduling conflict, probably because of Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
And an army of 50 commemorative Buzz Lightyears. I did see something about that as well. Last game session ended with something of a cliffhanger. Who else is excited to see what happens? Who else is nervous, John? You say excited, we say nervous.
Terrified?
I'm going to be spending all of my dad's money. Well, they're on sale right now, Janice. So because they just got listed, so most of them are on sale for I think 24 to 72 hours after listing. I don't remember, but somewhere in that window, you can get all those designs that you saw there. You can get them as shirts, hats, coffee mugs, pins, phone cases, stickers, wall flags, even.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's one of those actually I might get as a wall flag. So
would it be the Neil's Bill dress one?
A little bit. Okay, a lot of it. My dad gets his paycheck on Friday. Well, Friday will be fun for everybody. Okay, so all right, so let's get back to our previous topic here. So we were talking about Marvel Thunderbolts, then we got distracted with shiny new merch.
Not us distracted.
Yeah, I know, right? So here, I'll put the link to it'll be in the comments right there for you guys. Just real easy. It's tpublic.com/user/FSF PopCast. And you guys can check that out there and have some fun with our stuff. And like I said, I'll add that down in the show notes. So it's a clickable link for you guys. If you guys look at our YouTube page and you go to this video, from here on out, all our videos will have that as a clickable link for you. Whoop. All right. So the next movie, even your daughter got laughed about you getting distracted.
Oh,
your mini you thought it was funny. All right. So John brought this up earlier, but Karate Kid's Legends. I'm actually kind of excited about this. Now I've watched a little bit of Cobra Kai. I never really got into it. Mm-hmm. Again, I know a lot of people loved it and think it's great, and I think that's fantastic for them. It was kind of ho-hum, and for me, just kind of like, yeah. And there was the other Karate Kid movie, and so I think it's kind of cool how they're tying the old with the new all together, with Jackie Chan having been in the other movie. Now he's in this movie, and of course Ralph Macchio, and yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. So John had a comment way back up where. See if I can find it. But oh, that's the Muppets comment. I think it was just a little bit past that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, because I made a Mr. Miyagi reference earlier, but the Karate Kid sequel coming out this year, actually, it does look kind of interesting, and I think it's kind of neat because it looks like to me, and I could be wrong, but from the trailers I've seen, we're used to Jackie Chan being the one running up the walls, doing the kicking, the flipping, and all the things. I don't think he's going to be doing that. I think he's going to be a more of the Mr. Miyagi style role, where he is the instructor, he's the teacher.
He's getting up there in age.
Yeah, so maybe that's part of it, and that would be actually kind of cool if that's what it is. Yeah, Brandon, I definitely want to check this out too. Looks like it's got a lot of nice, cool tie-ins to things that have happened in past movies, tying it into Cobra Kai, tying it into the more recent Karate Kid movie. So, yeah, still waiting on Rush Hour 4. I think we're all going to be waiting for a while on Rush Hour 4, unfortunately. Chris Tucker's not doing much these days. And yeah, and unfortunately, I don't think Rush Hour 3 fared all that well. So I don't think they're going to be in a hurry to make a fourth. But, I would definitely watch it. I'm right there with you, bud. I would definitely watch it. I loved those two together. And honestly, I think Chris Tucker is hilarious. So I still want to see, a Fifth Element sequel. They can call it the Sixth Element for all I care. But whatever gets Ruby Rod back on screen, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
Janice says, I took karate when I was 9 years old, and I was on the wrestling team when I was 14. I took on 10 boys, and we won 14 state championships. I'm small and mighty. Wow, that's
nice.
cool. Small and mighty is awesome. Indeed. All right. And Brandon says, bros for life, Jackie and Chris. Yeah, they seem to have bonded a pretty good friendship between the two of them. So, but yeah, that's another one of the movies that I think most people that I haven't seen much negative out there about this one coming out. So, John, why you got to be like that?
Wow.
Yeah. Thanks for the reminder to go take an Advil. Okay. Rush Hour 3 and lower back pain.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up on the list of movies that are coming out in 2025 that we are personally excited about is Kathleen, because I have not seen Wicked Part 1.
You should.
Okay, so, and I know everybody's like, oh, Wicked's so awesome. Wicked's great. Wicked. Here's my problem. I don't like The Wizard of Oz. And I know this is Wizard of Oz adjacent, and I'm having trouble wrapping my mind around that it's similar but different.
Okay, so you don't like Wizard of Oz.
Not even a little bit.
Totally fair. This is still technically set in Oz, right, but is not at all The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
This is deep and dark and political, and it is covered with these beautiful songs and these frilly dresses, and it's really when you realize this is terrible. There are horrible things happening in this. Hey, Jason
from 3 Geeks
horrible
Podcast,
things happening in this world, but let's just put pretty dresses on it and pretend it's fine.
All right, so I'll address the elephant in the room, Jason. Here's my problem. It's a little Wizard of Oz. So here's my problem. A, it's a musical. That's going to be a hard sell for me on most everything. This is not new territory for anybody who's been around this show for even 30 seconds. Yeah, musicals are a very hard sell for me. I just don't like them in general. Secondly, I remember I have no good memories when it comes to The Wizard of Oz. A lot of people, when they're, they have good memories growing up of The Wizard of Oz, and it reminds them of this, it reminds them of that, and there's all these different things that, you know, they get excited every year when the Wizard of Oz comes on TV and all these things. I don't have those same memories. So in fact, I don't want to talk about them, but there's some opposite memories that I have about the Wizard of Oz, and that feeds into a lot of it. So that's part of it. So there's some very contrary things here for me. So in order to sit down and watch Wicked, I would have to get past the fact that it's Wizard of Oz adjacent, and secondly, that it, and probably most importantly, that it's a musical. So, but yeah, you wouldn't like it because it is a musical. So, but I mean, that's pretty much where it is. I lost a whole lot of comments there.
I'm sorry.
I was filibustering about my lack of love for musicals and things. And let's see. Are we going to talk about Jurassic World? It has Scarlett Johansson. I had not brought it up into our slide presentation just because I knew that I was going to be running out of time. I was kind of hitting some highlights, but that is a movie coming out. I'm kind of curious where they're going to go with it, especially because I was hoping that the last Jurassic Park movie was going to be the last Jurassic Park movie, because it was, as cool as it was to have Sam Neill back on the screen, it was a very disjointed movie to me, and I just, it had some issues. But hey, you know, you never know. Maybe this one will be good again, and I would like it to be good, because anytime, again, there's, you know, we talk about Jurassic Park, that's a movie series that I have great memories of, and I've enjoyed all the movies up to this most recent one, which I thought, again, was a little meh. But
I should just jump to John's latest comment, because I feel like that needs to be addressed.
This is not true. I love puppies. Puppies give me happiness. So nah, you're wrong on 66% of your comment. My question is for Tim and Kathleen, and did you get bullied as kids?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Unfortunately, I was also the kid that did some of the bullying. So, but it's also interesting. I was at certain points, and to certain people, and I look back at that now, and I wish I would not, and I wish I could have changed those things. And you know, all I can do now is I've talked to a couple people that I had been unkind to, and I've tried to make my amends as best as possible. Do I expect them to ever fully forgive me for the things that I said or did? Heavens no. And I wouldn't blame them for feeling that way. So,
yeah, Janice, definitely got bullied as well. I mean, people suck.
People do suck. But you know, I wish that I hadn't, but I did. And it's one of those things where, you know, the thing was said, the things were done. You can't bring those things back, but all you can do now is try to be different, try to be better, try to not be the person you were back then. And you know, you go from there. John says, I got bullied as a kid, Janice. I find it hilarious that those bullies have to take their kids to see movies that are based on the same things they picked on me for liking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brandon's been bullied.
I should not have pulled up YouTube.
You can make amends now, Tim, by apologizing to my raccoon. I said I was not body shaming a raccoon. Jason says, I did too, and I'm friends with some of those people now. I am who I am because of it, and I like me. It sucked, but I'm good now. Yeah. I may have called a raccoon chubby. Those words may have been said.
I think, though, to make it so that Tim can properly apologize, Tyson, we need to have your raccoon on the show.
I mean, I'll share a screen. I can't talk either. This is
All right, we've only got 11 minutes left, and we can do this.
Doubt it. The FSF PopCast is anti-raccoon. You saw it here. We are not.
I have so much in common with raccoons. I also chronically have dark circles under my eyes. I am also chubby and misunderstood. I will also bite you if you come too close to me.
But I will say this, that having been a person who also was not only bullied by some, but bullied others, I have a deeper appreciation for being the good person and not wanting that to be done to anybody else, and having a different appreciation for things. And, you know, you can make changes in your life if you want to, you know, and try to make. Oh boy, that's going to go right to his head, Janice. You're
Oh
never
boy.
going to hear the end of
I think too, now that they're calling for cancel culture to come after us for being anti-raccoon, I think we need another merch shirt with the FSF PopCast things we love, sci-fi raccoons.
the word sci-fi and then a raccoon with a circle around it with a line through it.
No, we are pro raccoons on this show.
No, I'm very pro raccoon, but apparently John says that we're not. So, you know,
Hey, I have never chased a raccoon in my underpants with a machete, John Wass.
I'm sorry, I have time for story.
Need to get it out of the yard somehow.
Same here, Jason. And yeah, it made me step up my game and figuring out how to make responses to people. And, you know, I'm going to jump ship and become the 97th member of the 3G podcast. You'd have to wait till you get to 99 because then at least it's divisible by 3. Right. Sly Cooper is awesome. We have an opening, John. You be 96th.
Oh man, nope. You gotta wait. Can't be the 96th. Weird.
John says it wasn't a machete; it was a sword, and his dog at the time was helping.
I'm sorry. Was it the samurai sword?
And Jason.
I don't have photos of that. That was before John and I got together.
Okay, but if somebody has photos of John Wasson, not that I need to see John in his underoos, but if I could see John chasing a raccoon with a sword in his hand, I'm pretty sure that's day, week, possibly even year made. So you're bullying my raccoon to just make her develop. You need this sword. It's glandular. You already said that.
So, okay, I don't have any pictures of John chasing a raccoon in his underpants, but I could probably get pictures of John chasing anything in his Care Bear pajama pants with a lightsaber.
Yes, please. And yes, John, you do have too many stories. And if you'd like to hear some more John stories, you need to go listen to our Get to Know Your Nerds. And all I'm going to say is Nazi penis pond. You can do the rest of the research yourself. So, because that story can't be told enough, and B, doesn't get old. I want a pet monkey. Okay, but monkey or chimpanzee? Because chimpanzees get old and rip your face off. So,
I don't know.
We have 8 people in the chat. Come on, guys, hit that like button. They only have one. Yeah. What he's saying, hit that like button.
And Brandon, I also understand the wanting a pet monkey thing, but then I saw an interview with Brendan Fraser about the monkey that was in George of the Jungle with them. And he was a boy monkey, and he, yeah. Disgusting.
Oh, sorry to hear this, Janet. She was physically bullied and called a lot of mean names. And the principal, down here, she says the principal and teacher didn't care what was going on. I'm so sorry to hear that. Ooh, I am the greatest, along with Will Wheaton and John. I'll take that. All right. A capuchin. The capuchin monkey, that's the really small little guy, right?
No.
Okay, big?
No. You seen Night at the Museum?
Yeah.
Dexter.
Oh. What's the one that I'm thinking of? She's like, they're like this big. They're
Camerons?
Maybe that's it, yeah.
Or marmosets. And I used to want a capuchin until I had a toddler, and that was pretty much the same thing.
Okay, Brandon, I can't disagree with that. Having a little shoulder sidekick like a boo would be pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. And you don't have to buy a pizza for the raccoon, just for Tyson. That's all you need. So, yeah, sorry about that bullying, kiddo. That's awful. My favorite subject in school was lunchtime. or 3:05 when the final bell rang. No, I was a big fan of world history and sociology. So I did really good in those topics. So
I was a big fan of, I was in choir from 3rd grade through my senior year. I've always loved music. I also really, really loved English, especially when we got to more of the fun novels to read, the bigger stories to read. So Great Gatsby, The Crucible, Of Mice and Men, getting to more of the classics was a lot of fun for me. But then also history and science.
I hated English class, but only because I had a sucky teacher. Teachers make all the difference for that type of stuff. Yeah, I have a cat, and Kathleen has 3 cats. So
one of them currently snoozing on the bed.
Yes. Next up, real quick, we're just going to breeze through a couple of these. There is the live action of How to Train Your Dragon that's coming up, and 300 books. You and my daughter would get along just fine. My daughter read 270 something books last year, so yeah. I love Jason. Look at you go, boy. 3 likes. Can we get them to 6 though? Can we get this? Can we get up to 6 likes? Click the like button. But yeah, I'm both excited and kind of nervous because I haven't watched a lot of the offshoot stuff, the things that came later from How to Train Your Dragon, but the first couple movies I really did enjoy. And Toothless is just really, really cool. So
see, I liked the first one. But I still have not recovered enough from my own trauma of 2020 to be able to watch the second one ever again. Yeah. Because the whole dad dying stuff. Shut up, John.
We're waiting.
I don't like it.
All right, we'll skip that one. Wait, that one's coming out.
I don't like hearing the music anymore.
What's that? Say it again.
I don't even like hearing the music from it anymore because it makes me want to cry.
Well, there's also that. Yeah, John is not a mod. He's a problem. There is that. I'm getting bullied for liking Star Trek Next Generation and Dungeons and Dragons. Well, it sounds like you got some sucky people around you.
Yeah, you need
Sorry
to tell
to hear
them
that,
to stop.
Jan. So, oh, we have 4 likes now. Woohoo! But yeah, so I'm looking forward to How to Train Your Dragon, especially because I don't know the 3 actors to the right, but the one on the left was in Deadpool 2, and I thought he was hysterical in that.
I should know who the girl is.
I have looked up like 0 information as to who the cast is, but I'm very excited about that. Let's see. We also have the next movie that Jared Leto's going to ruin, and that is Tron Ares, because Tron 2 was such a sweeping success that they felt the need to make a Tron 3. I try really hard not to crap on things, but I have a very, very, very strong problem with anything Jared Leto, except for 30 Seconds to Mars. He should have just stayed in music.
Sorry.
Just stayed in music, yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I'm over here looking up why do I know that actress? So, Bronwyn James is the redhead girl in How to Train Your Dragon. And I'm like, why do I... Yeah, I'm like, why do I know who she is? Because she's Shen Shen in Wicked.
Okay.
I'm like, well, duh, because I just saw her. There's been a couple other things that she's been in, but it was that one specifically that I'm like, wait a second. I should have known that. But
Tron 2 was okay. It was a decent storyline. It left a little bit on the table for me. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think there should have been Tron 3 based on if they're going by that same storyline. And 30 Seconds to Mars too. Actually, I think it's the only thing that Leto's done that I'm like, oh, that was actually pretty good.
You've hurt my emo heart.
Jason says, just joking, I've never heard of them. Go look them up. They've got some really good music. You Like the Kill. That's probably their most known song.
Also, I might give How to Train Your Dragon a shot because Gerard Butler's in it.
Oh, there you go. Shrek 5, I did hear about that one. New Minecraft movie is a movie. The latest trailer looked better than the original.
Yeah, I'm struggling with the Minecraft movie just because of Jason Momoa's blonde wig. Bleh.
Jason saw Tron 2 first, so that may have helped. Yeah, probably so. If you saw Tron 2 before Tron 1, that
See, I did that too, and I actually liked 2. I also saw it on the IMAX.
It probably does. I mean, I liked Tron 2 for the special effects and all of that. For the CGI for its time was actually pretty good. But the problem is Tron 1 was one of those classic movies that's kind of near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, including mine. And it was kind of hard to see what Tron 2 was in some respects. There are, like I said, there are things where I felt it got left on the table, some story parts, and it was in that whole era of de-aging, things,
Yeah.
and that was kind of weird. John liked Tron for 2 reasons. I'm scared to ask.
Left and right.
That was also what I was thinking. John wants the soundtrack, just the soundtrack for Tron Ares. Apparently, 9 Inch Nails is working on the soundtrack. So Trent Reznor. So
John does like 9 Inch Nails.
He does. And then let's see. And then the last one, I think this is the last one on my list. Yes, it is. The Fantastic Four movie. I'm both excited and torn on this because I like Pedro Pascal, but I'm having a really hard time seeing Space Daddy as Reed Richards.
They really should have just put Asian Jim in.
God, that'd have been wonderful.
Confused everybody.
That would have been the best running joke out there in the world is from The Office when Jim has Asian Jim step in for him for identity theft, and it's just fantastic.
I know that there's issues with it because he was already in Marvel, he was already an agent, and we've seen him in other things. He was in WandaVision, wasn't he?
Randall Parks, yeah. Thank you.
Asian Jim.
Asian, also known, just better known as Asian Jim, yes.
But I feel like they could have just gone with that joke way longer.
I would actually love to get Randall Parks on our show. I'm not even kidding.
Introduce him as John Krasinski.
Yeah, I would absolutely introduce him as John Krasinski. There'd be no other way. I would have to. Yeah, absolutely. Excited and not excited. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm both excited because I'm hoping that we're finally going to get a proper. Although I will say that I liked Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer movies. I have my issues with them. Don't get me wrong. The Miles Teller version, I would like that one to go wherever the original copies of Star Wars Holiday Special is, and sit in that very special corner of hell. But yeah, I think we just need a proper version of the Fantastic Four, and I'm hoping that this is what this is going to lead to, and that this is going to get us to, seeing a full allotment of X-Men on screen.
I mean, I like where the 2005 movies went. Like, I like what we ended up with, but that was also, we ended up with
Council of Reeds or Secret Wars could be cool. Yeah.
We ended up with him in Deadpool, and that was just fun. So.
The Holiday Special is an amazing addition to the Star Wars universe. You would think that, John.
It's Captain America.
It has its moments. But yeah. Let's see. There's a question from Brandon I missed a few minutes ago. I meant to respond to it, and then we got kind of sidetracked. That never, ever happens here.
Things.
Do we interview YouTubers? We don't really interview them, but we have them on our live show and talk about their channel and things like that. If you have suggestions of somebody that you'd like to see us get on the show, let me know, and we will work to make that happen. Yeah, sidetracked you? Squirrel! Absolutely.
Squirrel? Where's squirrel? There's a squirrel?
Exactly.
What happened to the squirrel? Was it going like this?
Potentially. Hopefully we'll see Herbie. Yeah. Challenge accepted, Jason. Oh man, these things are moving too fast. All right, the holiday special is awful, and not enough alcohol in the world could get me to watch it again. There's the challenge accepted. She has a question for Will Wheaton. What was it like working on The Big Bang Theory?
I think if you go back and watch our interview with Will Wheaton that we did,
he does talk about that.
We do talk about it in that episode.
Yeah.
About playing the evil version of himself.
And the whole thing about, picking on Sheldon about his Meemaw and all that fun stuff.
Game over, Moon Pie.
And the joke about Moon Pie and why it was only said that one time. So it's kind of. All right, so let's see.
Making me cry. So
Today I Grew Up. I'm actually not familiar with them, but I will look into it. They got added to my notes right there. So I will make sure that I look them up. Because if I don't write it down, it's totally gone.
Are your notes just on a random envelope that you found on your desk? Because I do that.
No, it's actual notepad.
Whoa.
Woo, look at me go.
I went to the store with my grocery list written on an envelope.
Wow. Envelopes work too when you're in a hurry, for sure. Yeah, we're actually working on trying to get Will to come back on the show. We will see what happens here. Everyone be scared. Yes, Tim is taking notes because Tim is also in recognition that he does have squirrel brain, ADHD, and something else going on, I'm sure. And that prevents my memory from working like it should. So if I don't write it down and happen to see it scribbled down on paper somewhere later, it's not getting remembered.
Do you also have the touch of the tisms, Tim?
I probably do.
And by touch, I mean you got smacked upside the head with a 2x4?
The whole tree, yeah. I'm gonna go show my wife, give her some of that rhythm with the tism. Anyway,
oh, stop it!
So there's that. Oh. Yeah, Jason, it's true. I'm pretty sure that getting older in years does not help the memory at all. I have to take notes on everything I watch. If I don't, it's going to be problematic for anyone.
How old do I have to be to get rid of the mental blick that just happened with Tim and his...
Never. That is going to be etched into your brain. Etched, I tell you. So those are some of the movies in 2025 that are coming out. Of course, we talked about some other ones that are coming up in the comments, and a lot of stuff to look forward to. In one of our future happy hours, we will, of course, talk about some of the shows from the TV shows that are coming out in 2025 and early 2026 that we'll have to look forward to. As a reminder, next week, Monday night, here on our show, we will have John Billingsley, Dr. Flock.
More chaos.
Enterprise. It will be just the absolute best chaos you could ever hope for. We're going to be talking about Trek Talks 4, which is an all-day Star Trek panel and interview. It's a 100% virtual program. And yeah, it's just an amazing thing. Trek Talks supports the Hollywood Food Coalition that gets food to people when they need it most. So please come back. John will be here on the 13th. We may have Bonnie Gordon, the voice of Star Trek Prodigy's ship. She is the voice of the ship. And so she is the protostar, but I'm not sure if we're going to have her just yet, but at least John is locked in 100%. But on the 18th, so that's on Monday, the 13th, on Saturday, the 18th is when Trek Talks 4 happens. And that, like I said, that is a full day. Go to trektalks.net and you'll be able to find out more about the show, what's going on, who all's going to be there, because there are a ton of Star Trek things. There's going to be a Star Trek Discovery reunion, and that panel will be moderated by, I can't remember by who, but it's definitely going to be moderated. And there's a whole bunch of really, really cool things going on from people from different versions of Star Trek. There'll be people there from DS9, Enterprise, both Prodigy and Lower Decks will be represented. Voyager is going to be represented. Woo! Next Generation will be represented. Picard will be represented. Woo! All kinds of stuff. Yes, Nana Visitor will definitely be on Trek Talks. So there's a lot of really, really cool stuff. Gates McFadden from Next Generation will be there. I'm not positive if Will is involved or not this year. I think he had a scheduling conflict for this year, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's a really cool event, and we encourage you guys to come back next week, because not only will we talk about Trek Talks, but John will also be taking Star Trek questions about Star Trek Enterprise. So come back, check that out with us next
week. On screen next week.
We will not. We will what?
We will not be the craziest ones on screen next week.
There's strong potential, because having John with us, he is just the right kind of disconnected, and I love him dearly for it. Now, if you missed it this past Wednesday, we released, or I should say re-released, our interview with Stephen Perkins, the drummer from Jane's Addiction and Porno for Pyros. If you haven't had a chance to go back and listen to that, you can check it out, on your favorite podcast platform for audio, and then also, of course, here on our YouTube channel. And you can check that out. And a really thought-provoking conversation with Stephen Perkins about Jane's, about Porno for Pyros, and just his whole music sense and coming up in the world, and how it all kind of happened. And it's really a cool conversation. So if you like 90s rock and alternative rock and grunge style stuff, you're gonna want to check that out. All right, Brandon says, Kathleen, quick question.
Yes.
Go for it, Brandon. Fire away.
Yeah. As I'm over here refilling my pill container, because otherwise I will forget to take my pills.
You're having a squirrel moment. Oh, I should do this now. All right. While his question's getting typed up and put on the screen, this is coming on Wednesday. Richard Reilly, you've seen him in Office Space. He was Tom Sapkowski with the Jumping to Conclusions mat. He was in Transformers: Age of Extinction, Joe Dirt, Deuce Bigelow.
He was the grandpa on Grounded for Life.
Yeah, it was a show called Grounding for Life. Absolutely. And yeah.
ER when he had a chronic problem. Anywho. Favorite fandom.
See if your answer is the same as the Get to Know Your Nerds episode.
Well, so see, that's the problem. And so it does bounce around a lot, because hi, I'm Kathleen. I have undiagnosed ADHD. The only reason that I know I have ADHD is because my daughter's been diagnosed, and we are clones of each other.
The same.
So I would definitely go Doctor Who from the 2005 series on, specifically the David Tennant run, and then into 11 with Matt Smith. But I also grew up on Star Wars and Star Trek. So specifically DS9, Voyager, and the prequels of Star Wars. Like, specifically, I as ridiculous as it is, Episode 3 and Episode 6 of Star Wars are my favorites. And Rogue One now. Anyway.
Rogue One.
Rogue One is a brilliant movie. But yeah, I am very much a girl of all fandoms, I guess.
There you go. Actually, you can find out a lot more about that, Brandon, if you go back and check out our Get to Know Your Nerds episode. We released that on Christmas Day, and that has everybody. We have all four of us on camera that day. So it's Kathleen, Ben, John, and I. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. We asked, there was 6 or 7 questions we asked, and we all answered them. And so favorite fandom was definitely one of them. Yeah. All right, cool. Brandon agrees with you. He says he'll definitely check that out. And Tyson met David Tennant and a con.
I would be a puddle. I would still be unwell.
Yeah. She may have had to have physically been dragged off of him if that was.
Let me see if I can grab this picture really fast.
So
without knocking stuff over.
But yeah, while she's finishing up, that's pretty much going to do it for us, folks. And if you understand that meme there, you're an even bigger fan of the show.
So I had gotten this
let me take Buddy Jesus off there.
I got this at the Monroe Comic-Con, so it's a metal print of the Doctor and Rose.
There we go.
So.
Trying to make that bigger so everybody can see it better.
Yeah, and there's going to be a horrible reflection. But look, I can reflect myself.
That is cool, though.
I love this. It's
That's above a metal my print?
It is.
I don't remember you getting that.
Okay. Yeah, I got it I think it was the first year.
Kathleen's desk is a I can't say that word. Euclidean?
Yeah, my desk is not.
I have to look that up because now I don't know what that means.
Ooh,
okay.
Ooh. And then I have this wonderful little bit. It's one of the yips from Sesame Street. And then it's got this tiny little set of dice in it. Just love Chunk.
And because of that, I have him and Chunk right next to each other. He's doing the truffle shuffle.
I have a Sesame Street I have a Lego Bert and Ernie. I've got a Detroit Red Wings snow globe. I've got the It's So Fluffy I'm Gonna Die unicorn from Despicable Me. I have 3 gnomes up above my window. I've got my Critical Role Funkos over there, and my Mandalorian Funkos up there. It might be. Oh, I've got that.
Yeah, that can't come soon enough.
Guido and Luigi from
Force. We'll be reviewing episode 7 of Skeleton Crew on Thursday at 7 p.m. If you guys want to join us for that, another live episode. Are we excited for Phineas and Ferb season 5? You have no idea. Yeah, here's stickers, by the way, said for rectal use only.
And I only have a few of them.
2,000 of them left, yes. But yeah, we absolutely love Phineas and Ferb on this show. And we are beyond stoked for season 5 of that. All right, Kathleen, any parting thoughts before we say goodbye to our
I barely have
audience?
Any thoughts at all. Parting thoughts are trying to put way too much together at the same time. So,
fair enough.
I'll just do it this way.
Nice.
The kazoo
I love
also
how you
for rectal use only.
That's aggressive. I do like how you go to do that and your camera's like, we must blur out the kazoo.
We're done. Come on,
yes,
camera.
Exactly. Oh, thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it, guys. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for putting up with us tonight and having some fun with us.
I'm just going to keep being silly.
Kathleen's just going to be silly. So until next time, may you... I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the black camera screen now. May the force be with you as you continue to live long and prosper. Also available as a shirt now, by the way.
I am a blur.
So, okay, bye.
Copyright 2024 FSF PopCast. Reference to any specific product or entity mentioned on this podcast does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by FSF PopCast. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact us via email at info@fsfpopcast.com.